What's up, guys? This is Kyle with the Maple Review. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a topic discussion video. And so I'm going to talk about a topic that I think is highly relevant to the channel and to the audience, and hopefully will be helpful. So this particular topic is something I've definitely wondered about for myself. A few people have definitely asked me as well, especially since I've started this channel. And I think it's something that a lot of people try to figure out and don't really have a clear answer to. And so I'm gonna shed some light on it based on what I have found and stuff that I've read that's been helpful for me, and hopefully it's helpful to you as well. So the main topic I wanna cover today is how much should you invest into your wardrobe, into your style, into your clothes. And obviously this is a pretty loaded question, and the true answer is it's completely up to you, and there is no black and white perfect answer. That being said, I feel like most people do wonder, like, do I spend too much on clothes? Do I not spend enough? Like, what should I be spending? What's reasonable? The main answer to this question is to, first and foremost, to set a budget for yourself. I think that's the most important thing when you ask yourself this, is to sit down and find a comfortable budget that works for you, that you feel good about, that's going to make sure that you are, investing into new items and basically keeping things, fresh and relevant and new and clean and in good condition. So you might say, like, yeah, that sounds great and all, but like, what should the budget be? How do I set the budget? So I think that is also a pretty complicated question, but a good rule of thumb that I came across when I was reading a book by Frederick Eklund, who is a great salesperson. He's one of the best realtors in the country and just awesome salesperson. He's on $1 Million Listing, has a book. I'm in sales, so it was recommended to me and I was reading it, but he had a whole chapter on basically reinvesting into himself and his clothing, and the whole concept of, like, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you perform well, etc. But the rule of thumb that he laid out is that he, no matter what, takes 10% of his commission and reinvests that, which is basically 10% of his whole income, and reinvests that into his wardrobe. Personally, I felt like when I sat down and I did the math, that 10% was a little bit too much, a little bit more than I was comfortable spending on clothes, basically. But I really like the approach there, and I think that me personally, unless you are just stupid rich and you're in a job where you really, like he is, where it really matters how well put together you look and stuff like that, I think that setting a good budget that is a percentage of your income, so it does grow with the growth of your income, is a great way to do it. And I personally would say anywhere between that 5 to 10% mark is going to be really good. And I think that you shouldn't really go under that 5% as long as you're in a stable financial situation. I think that setting that aside will force you to, be reinvesting into your wardrobe and your style and looking good and feeling good and performing well. So I think a good rule of thumb is taking 5 to 10% of your take-home pay and setting that aside for reinvesting into clothes, into style, into your wardrobe. Another question that goes hand in hand with this that I get pretty often, and I've wondered for myself, is like, all right, so I've set this budget, I have a budget to spend on clothes, like, what is the right cadence? How often should I actually be going out and shopping or looking for, new items that I want to add into my wardrobe? And I think this is also, of course, it depends, and it depends on how much you like shopping, right? If it's something that you really enjoy doing, then I would say if you can, it'd be good to go, monthly, go to a few places that you like and see what you find. But I think at the bare minimum, you should be going shopping 4 times a year, kind of in correlation with the seasons, right? I think if you go less than that, then you definitely will come across less things potentially that you might like and might really work for you and your style. And then also you're starting to limit the seasonality of, your wardrobe and the items that you do have, because if you're only shopping in, December and June, obviously in June it's going to be all summer stuff that you're seeing, and in December it's going to be all cold weather winter stuff you're seeing, and you're going to miss out on that sort of in between fall spring type of stuff that you're going to need. So I think, to kind of wrap this up, I think that spending 5 to 10% of your take-home pay as a budget on your wardrobe and on sort of self-care So that could be, including haircuts and skincare if you do all that sort of stuff. But 5 to 10% of your take-home pay reinvesting into your wardrobe. And I think that you should probably be going out shopping and looking for new items to add to your wardrobe at least 4 times a year, and hopefully roughly 3 months apart, right? So kind of in each season or for each season. I think the more the merrier. For me personally, going every month is not something that works for me or is practical. I just don't really have the time, and it just doesn't work out that way for me. So, but I would say what I have found for myself is going, every couple of months, spending an afternoon and going around town, or if I'm out of town somewhere, going around there and looking for, things that I might like. Works out pretty well for me. Definitely leave your comment down below and kind of let me know what you do, how often you go, how much you budget. But I think to wrap up this video, the most important things about keeping, a good, fresh wardrobe and feeling good and performing well because you feel good, it's just to have that fixed budget and to actually go spend it, right? So it doesn't do you any good if you sit down and you map out a budget for yourself for your wardrobe and then you still just don't go shopping and you don't spend it. So I would say whatever you do set for yourself, make it a goal to spend at least most of it, most of the time, and force yourself to get out and go look for some new stuff to add in. I think that once you get in the habit of doing it, it may feel like you're splurging at first, or it may feel like you're, shopping too much or buying too many clothes at first. But I think what you'll find, especially if it is a good, reasonable budget, is that it really is just a lot of fun, and it keeps you feeling good and looking good and adding fresh new things in your wardrobe that you're going to be excited to wear. So again, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys do, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.